L'asilo è nato da un'occupazione simbolica che doveva durare 3 giorni. Nessuno si sarebbe mai aspettato, dopo 8 anni, tutte queste conquiste, tutta questa produzione di bellezza, tutta questa vita.
L'asilo started from an occupation of the third floor of this building, which is a former convent and then an asylum in the city center of Naples.
Napoli è sempre stata una città molto particolare, perché è una città povera, anche se è molto ricca culturalmente.
The experience of l'asilo rises after the financial crisis of 2009, and there were really important cuts to the cultural sector, who was always perceived as not being essential. So in Italy we have a very important movement in those years that was the occupation of symbolic cultural spaces from the artists to claim and defend the importance of art and culture in our societies.
La vita dell'asilo è una forma di improvvisazione scenica, è una scrittura collettiva che avviene con delle regole molto, molto precise, e queste regole sono la collaborazione, l'interdipendenza tra i vari saperi, ma soprattutto la capacità di restare una comunità aperta che si interroga. Non abbiamo nessun desiderio per le risposte, abbiamo tantissimo desiderio per le domande. Tutto questo è regolato secondo la formula dell'autogoverno e l'autogestione.
This was a very different approach to the way almost everyone is used to approach culture. We were experimenting the practice of common as an informal community of artists and activists and cultural operators. And the idea of the common brings together three elements. Like on one side, we have a resource. On the other side, we have a community which relates to this resource, that uses and cares for this resource. And at the same time, we need that this community elaborates sets of commonly shared rules.
The peculiarity of this space, from a legal point of view, is that the city did not assign the good to anyone, but the municipality recognized the free self-government of the community itself. And this happened through a declaration of civic and collective use that the community wrote together in these public assemblies, working through the method of consensus. Then this declaration was recognized by the city with its official resolution. And therefore, the city recognizes that all the activities and the ordinary maintenance of the spaces are just managed by the community. This is important because it means that the city is recognizing the value that is produced by the experience. Of course, it's not an economic value, not mainly an economic value, but especially a social and cultural value.
L'asilo è la prima esperienza nella città in cui una comunità di ricerca artistica, culturale, decide di non competere, ma di collaborare e soprattutto mette in comune i mezzi di produzione dell'arte e dello spettacolo. Questa è una vera e propria rivoluzione.
Urban commons, in the first place, is very important to redevelop and stimulate again a kind of citizenship, active citizenship, but also the feeling of responsibility for your environment.
There is no artistic direction or content direction. The only requirements are that the proposal is not fascist, racist or sexist or exclusionary somehow.
Una delle grandi motivazioni, una delle grandi necessità che 8 anni fa la comunità degli artisti della città di Napoli aveva era quella di avere degli spazi per lavorare, perché, come dire, la città di Napoli non ha spazi pubblici per lavorare. Quindi uno dei grandi contributi che ha portato l'asilo è stato proprio quello di dare spazio alla ricerca, di dare spazio alle produzioni indipendenti, ai gruppi indipendenti.
We are professional artists, dancers, Not always we have job, of course. This is a great opportunity to use the space, so to at least to have the chance to train bodies and also create new projects.
It really gives you the possibility to experiment and improvising, breaking the boundaries between education, research and improvisation. Of course, there is the issue about how we make it sustainable for us. The message is not we are doing this for free, we are not underestimating your art, but we are exchanging as a donation between each other on a same level. So if you think in this way, it works. If you think that you are putting your practice for free, it doesn't work. It's two different concepts.
I see the role of spaces like l'asilo as fundamental in the way we organize cultural policies. Besides the option to have public institutions and private institutions, experiences of urban, also non-urban cultural commons represent another tile in the mosaic of cultural policies. If we want to have a healthy political environment, we need to have a healthy cultural environment, and this is fundamental in our society.
L'asilo was not the only common, the only experience like that in Naples. There's a network of them, and together they started making important reasonings on the city.
We call these spaces in Naples spazi liberati, liberated spaces. We don't own this place. We are not legally constituted as a society. We are just a group of citizens. Just because we are using these places, which was abandoned, and we are making it alive again, and we are using it not for money, but to help the neighborhood, the town council has to recognize us. L'asilo was the first, and the good thing about l'asilo was that they had a group of experts, of young law scholars, and they were the ones who found that principle in the Constitution, which was so pivotal in our fight.
The Scognizzo Liberato, which is a former juvenile prison, a place which was once impossible to inhabit and to use, now hosts cultural activities, artisanal workshop, a gym, a popular football team which plays every week. There were, in the historical city center of Naples, a lot of artisanal workshops, one of the categories which suffered most from the economic crisis. We found a way to revitalize artisanal work in the district by introducing these people to the community, which are now a big part of the Scognizzo Liberato.
Here we are more focused on the neighborhood. It's the only public green area that we have in the neighborhood. So for one thing, we open this garden for the community to enjoy. And we also have a library. Students can come here and study. They have free Wi-Fi. And then we have sometimes language courses or dance, music, lots of different activities which are totally free. We don't have much of this in the south of Italy, especially because the south is poorer than the north, and so this is really offering something which it wouldn't be available.
Spaces like l'asilo represent really a precious opportunity to really meet the need of a community and to be able to give support to those extreme conditions and also to the precarity of the conditions of cultural workers.
I think it can be an example to stimulate the European government to see that there are other possibilities to organize culture.
L'asilo, as mostly all practices of commoning, are fragile experiences. On the one side, the recognition by the city of Naples of the Declaration of Urban Civic and Collective Use, and also the recognition of 8 spaces in the city as common, has been an important step. And at the same time, we lack a real framework that is capable to protect those experiences.
Sono molto curioso perché è un esperimento amministrativo molto particolare dove l'amministratore pubblico, il titolare del palazzo, deve avere fiducia dei suoi cittadini. Se l'amministratore pubblico non ha fiducia dei cittadini che amministra, allora l'asilo può avere problemi. Non ho paura, non ho timori, molta curiosità, ma con il sorriso, diciamo.